Hi everyone, it's Lehman with Lace Covered Skies, and I'm here today with a tutorial on this specimen card window envelope. I've been working on botanical journals and really getting into the different little projects. So likely a card like this will go inside. But today we're going to be working on this. So the first thing you will need is an 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock. I printed a digital from, I believe it was Sunday Fable. And I basically just printed it. And then I cut down the paper that I printed on to this size. So let me go ahead and measure it for you. Of course, it doesn't matter what the size is. It'll just, if you have a different piece of paper, it will give you a different size envelope. But I think I just cut the edges off. So I ended up with a little over 10 inches wide and a little over 7.5 inches in height. I then folded it in half like so, and then after I folded in half, I go ahead and I score a line 1.7 inches down. So this is the top of my envelope. I'm going to score 1.75 inches down. Alright, here's my scoring board. And I've mentioned this before. This came with this, but this does not work for me at all. Like, it's so wide that I just go off the rails, like literally. And it's not a straight line, especially on cardstock this thick. I won't stay in the ridge, it'll like veer off. So I had this little tool. I got this at a dollar store. I believe it's for nails. So it's for making polka dots on your nails and other designs. So I take this. You can probably find it at a dollar store or maybe even Target in the nail section. But I'm going to look for 1.7 inches. That's 1.5. That's 1.7. So I'm going to go ahead and score it down. And the little knob on the top just fits right in there perfectly. All right. So now that that is done, I am going to grab my paper cutter and I am going to cut off one side. Now, I have been cutting off the right side, so I will continue to do that, but you don't need to cut off the right side unless you want like a certain side to be in the front or the back. So let's go ahead and trim that off. I'm going off of my score line to trim. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut like so. And we can save this for later. So once you do that, you are going to make a window. I'm going to use my Big Shot, which I have right here. And I am using this set of dies from Spellbinders. It's called Card Creator S5-171. and it says A2 Curved Matting Basics A. Not sure what that means, but if you search for those things, hopefully you'll find it. So I am going to let me just make sure here. Okay. I made the prototype for this a while ago, so I need to kind of situate myself. All right, so this is going to need to be folded down, which is going to be easy because we scored it earlier. The envelope is going to look like this, with this flap coming down. But we want the window to be on the shorter side without the flap. So what you're going to do is fold this down so it fits in here. Now if you made it a different size, you might not have this problem. But if I had left it open, like there's no way for me to like go through here, really. So I fold it like that. I'm going to stick it through there. And I will go ahead. Sometimes I do a window vertically, sometimes I do it horizontally. So I tend to look at the paper and find like the plainest area. Like I kind of don't like that brown there. So I'm going to do a window there because I like the lush green and colorful parts. So I think I'm going to go with that. And go ahead and roll it through. Oh my God. Okay. I have limited space here, so it's a little challenging. All right. So we're going to take this out, save this for later. And there we have our window. I am then going to just measure 1/2 inch in. Because I want to shape this. Let me grab a pencil. 0.5 inches. And then again on this side, 0.5 inches. Then I'm just gonna basically cut to this corner right here where it folds. I'm just gonna try my best to cut in a straight line. So I'm starting at that 0.5 inches that I marked and just cutting diagonal down to that corner right there. Now let's just go ahead and kind of round it off. And there we have that. So the next thing I'm going to do is cut out 2 pieces of transparency that will fit over this. Now, I did this beforehand. So here we have 2 pieces of transparency. And make sure that it fits over enough so that you have room to sew. I don't trust transparency with glue alone, so I sew it. once you have those two pieces, it's better to make them exact just to make your life easier. But we are going to put a pressed flower in there. So I'm working with 3 baskets of pressed flowers, and it's been really fun. This is my favorite basket. It's been really fun working with different kinds of flowers, and I don't really look to make sure it matches my page. I know that might not work for some people, but I tend to just, whatever flower I'm feeling, I just want to pull that one. So I want to try these. I think they'll look cute. And like I kind of want to try that one, but because it's hard to get to it, I'm just like, okay, I won't try that one. It's like lazy crafting. All right. So let's go ahead and just turn it over, and I am going to double check though to see if this is like a big mistake. But I think it looks good. Like, it doesn't really match in color, but I kind of like that. So what we're gonna do is first trim this down. I want the stem to be inside of the window, and this one's just a tiny bit long. And then we are going to kind of lay this over. Let me kind of hold this down with my scissors. So I'm coming to the edge here, because the way you set the flowers, you'll have to sew it in kind of like that. So I don't want to go too much over here and not leave enough room to sew. Can you guys see that? All right, so I'm going to position my transparency so that it's in the most optimum place to sew, leaving enough room. So I'm like not going too high, not going too low. I know you can't really see the transparency, but you want to center it as much as you can. Then I tend to use this glue to glue in flowers. I'm not sure why. I just feel like it hardens when it dries, so it's kind of like providing more structure. Okay, see there, I just moved everything. All right, so I'm gonna lay this one down. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this one. And then finally this little wilted one. I think I like this side better. So let's put glue on this side. I kind of like it in the middle like that. So now I can kind of move it out of this. I know it's very asymmetrical in there, but I like that sometimes because it makes it look more random. So I'm just going to like press it down lightly, and then I'm just going to let it dry a little bit. These two pieces are not going to be stuck together necessarily, You can put like a little dot of glue to kind of hold it there, but I found that I just like to go straight to the sewing machine once it's dry and make sure this side is facing out. So I would flip this. Ooh, the back looks pretty too. I would flip this and hold it in place like this and then just start sewing. So that's what I would do. Just start sewing and go all the way around, making sure that the skinnier places here have a good stitch going through. And then once I'm done with that step, I'll show you what it'll look like. It's going to look like this. So this is everything we did. We cut off that 1.75 inches. We made a corner, and then we took the transparency and we sewed all the way around after we glued the flower in. And that glue, you can barely see it. Like, it dries clear. You can see it a little bit, but it looks kind of cool because it's clear. And then what I do for pockets is I take a little bit of washi tape. This is my handmade washi tape, but it's made from this, so it's extremely sticky. Sorry, it's made from this, so it's extremely sticky. So I want this to be very adhered down, because when it's sewn shut, I don't want whatever's going to go in there to get caught on the plastic. So I just tape the top side. Then we're going to go to our sewing machine and do some faux stitching first. So I do a zigzag this way with it open like this. And then after that, I will fold it and then do a zigzag all the way around the perimeter. I'm not gluing this shut. I'm just going around this way, and that's all there is to it. And you end up with this. So I did a zigzag here when it was open. It's just pretend. And then I went and I did a zigzag all the way around. But yeah, so if you guys have any questions, let me know down in the comments below. And if you liked this video, I hope you'll give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching today, and I will talk to you next time. Bye everyone.